What's up? What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. Hope you are.
Doing good, doing good. Let's
Good,
see.
good, good. Let's see. All right. There. Okay, okay. I already know we're gonna have a good time in here. We're gonna have a good time. I already hit record because I usually forget. Um, so that's a great start. There. All right. How many people in here are newer to how many people are newer to Steve's group? Okay. Okay, cool. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Perfect. And boom. All right. What's going on, Sean? How you doing? Good, good. All right. Let me get to the beginning of my presentation and we're going to get this party started. I don't believe in waiting. I just go ahead and we're going to rock out. There we are. All right. All right. Y'all had a good time. Like, now, I'm going to tell y'all something. I hope that I can see everybody. So let me see, I got cameras on. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm like a old Baptist preacher. The more you talk to me and I can see you and you throw your hand up, yeah, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get to it. I know I'm gonna answer your questions. And like, I'm not holding anything back. Definitely not a gatekeeper. I see a couple people in here from my group who know I don't play the gatekeeping thing. Like, I'm just gonna tell you because it's too much work not to tell you. So like we're gonna get the game by the end of this. My goal is to make sure that you are able to go ahead and execute and start getting access to funding for other people. Okay, so is that why everybody is here? Like, come off mute, tell me you want to get funding for other people or you trying to just get funding for yourself. Let me know who's in the room.
I just say something. I don't know if everyone's turned their mute off, but
Yeah.
I want to learn how to really understand the funding. I'm in Mo's group. My name is Zane. It's nice to meet everyone, but really want to learn how to do the credit card stacking. I have a client right now, and I have her booked tomorrow. That's what I was gonna get her 150,000. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but like I'm gonna use the Truly, whatever it is, and figure it out. And want to ask you more so how to do that.
All right, good deal, good deal. And also, shout out to Zane. Zane is in the group. Zane just secured $50,000 for one of his clients. So, and like that's $5,000, right? Most people not making $5,000 a month. That's one client. He spent probably an hour and some change with the client and a couple DMs with me, and he's off to the races. So that's how easy it is. And I don't ever want anybody to ever complicate the business. The capital, the bank, or the client, the banks, you're in the middle. That's it, right? So don't ever overcomplicate this process. And most people, they try to learn too much too fast and not systematize anything, but we're going to set it up just right for you to be able to scale it. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Can everybody see my screen? We're good? Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to tell you how I built a 6-figure per month funding business. And basically, a little over 2 years ago, I was brand new in Steve's community. My credit score. So let me back up even just a little bit further. So for over 10 years, I had a student loan help company. I had an office in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I had an office in Tampa, Florida. And with that student loan help company, I came in contact with Sonia Lewis, who is the student loan doctor and one of Steve's friends. So I hear Steve talking, and even though I was making a great income at the time, my credit was trash. Anybody ever made good money and your credit was still trash? Okay. Okay. So I'm the only one that had a 400, 500 some score before. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Cool. 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 Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the honesty. Like, sheesh. But so Steve was like, now keep in mind, I had tried before to get access to credit. Just I didn't understand it. I didn't understand how this worked. So I was like, okay, Steve, I've paid people to do this. Nobody could do it. Steve repaired my credit. We got going. Then after that, he's already looking at my credit profile. He's like, yo, Mo, you got enough to buy my program. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, teach other people how to help the way I just helped you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, cool. So now he's looking at my available balances and he know what I got. So I'm like, okay, I can't even fake the phone. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. So I quit my job in January of 2024. Full-time entrepreneur since then, credit repair company, business funding company, private money lending company. And since then, it's been off to a races. It's been a long time since we haven't had a six-figure month. I'm going to tell you that again. It's been a long time since we haven't had a six-figure month. So for anybody who is contemplating, is this going to work? Is this something you should try? Is this something you can go forward to? Like, I don't want you, should I leave my job right now? I'm the wrong person to ask, should you leave your job? Because all I had was, I'd always been a 1099 employee since before I could ever remember. That means I was commission only, no savings, no nothing. But I had good credit, and I had at the time access to around $100,000 in credit. So I was like, well, if I have a couple bad months, I'm still going to be okay because I keep my cost of living down. So I'm like, we're going to be just fine. We're going to be just fine. Right. And here we are today. I'm glad I took that leap. Glad I banked on myself. Glad I did that. But all of that to say, that wasn't that long ago. Okay. That wasn't that long ago. I'm not going to be the person that tells you that it's always going to be easy. I done went broke before in the game, right? A couple times. I actually had a conversation about this morning, right? I have cried many nights trying to figure out how I made the business work. I have ran ads and ads didn't work. I have had systems and the systems didn't work. I have done all of it and it didn't work until you find the right thing. Because also what worked for somebody else and somebody else's business may not work for you because you might not be that type of person that want to do everything yourself. Okay. All right. So now that we got all of that out of the way, all right, let's get to it. So where I started, no funding company, no blueprint, no, none of this. Everything that I learned from Steve as far as funding. Now, when I was in Steve's funding class, what I really thought about was I was like, okay, now my favorite play at the time was we're going to get the clients Amex. Has anybody else learned how to get the American Express cards? And you just run them down until you get declined, right? You run all of them down until you get declined. Now, off of those videos, and they're in the first few videos. So if you tell me you haven't heard of that before, I know you haven't watched the videos, right, that are in Steve's course. So if you look at those videos, it tells you exactly how to get your clients approved for American Express. So the first thing I did was I did it for myself. And I was like, oh, this is easy. So imagine when I got 4 or 5 people per month that I'm like, well, if I get you an American Express Platinum card, it's $5,000. And then if I get you the gold joint, it's $2,500. I get you the blue, it's $2,500. And then we're going $2,500 all the way down. Well, I'm making $10,000, $15,000 per client at that point. So I'm doing that a few times a month. So at that point, I'm like, I wonder what happens if I learn something other than American Express. So I did. Right. And through trial and error, I tried it on myself. And then I'm like, oh, we cooking. Right. So I learned those proper systems. But here's the biggest lie in funding. if I learn funding products, I'll make money. That's not the case. If you learn how to do funding and what to apply for, that does not create the revenue that you need to get financial freedom. So just having the information doesn't create the revenue. The systems create the revenue. The biggest thing about the business is that I'm not a major part of it other than the traffic, right? So it's where I point to the business, but I'm not actively the one that's doing it. And that's going to be one of the biggest problems that you're going to have going forward in your business, because you want to touch everything yourself. Okay. Now, be honest. How many of you have spent time learning about funding, have spent more time learning about funding than actually submitting applications? Right? Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Thank you for the honesty. Thank you for the honesty. Look, we family in here. So I know y'all see me post in the group, like we cousins. So I don't, this shy, get off, right? But how many people have spent more time learning about funding than actually trying to submit some applications and getting denied? Because what's the worst thing that happens if you get denied? You got an inquiry.
You learn what to do next time.
Come on now. Exactly. And if you get declined for it, even if you get approved for it, you can still get the inquiry off. Right? So what we worried about? Let's try it. Just try it. So here's the funding value chain. You get the information, which is where most people stop at. Most people stop at, I know everything about funding. I know it all. But you get the information, you build the systems, you get the clients, and then your approvals are going to come by default. So just because you get those approvals, that's when you're going to make the maximum amount of money. Okay. Does that make sense? Good deal. Good deal. All right. Now, here's why most funding brokers fail. Now, I call us funding brokers because we're not the people who give the money away, right? We're the brokers of the funding. We're the ones that find the capital for our clients. We're the ones that it's our job to know exactly what to apply for our clients. So we are the broker. It's the same thing like a real estate broker. The real estate broker doesn't have the real estate. The real estate broker connects the real estate to the client. So they're the broker. So middleman marketing is the easiest money ever, and no matter what agency you're working in. Okay. So why most funding brokers fail? They don't have a lead generation system. If you don't have leads, you don't have clients. If you don't have leads, you don't have clients. If you don't have leads, you don't have clients. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business. Right? So everyone who says, oh, I got an LLC, I got a business. You don't have a business if you don't have clients. Right? What are you moving around? Who's paying you to do that? If you don't have clients, you don't have a business. Let that be very clear. No qualification process. You just letting everybody submit an application. You have unqualified people wasting your time. You have what I call PTWs. Anybody know what a PTW is? Come on. Anybody? Professional time waster. You have professional time wasters. Them people, you know good and well, they don't qualify for nothing. They on your phone. You know they broke. You know good and well they broke. You know their credit score is 3 and you still on the phone with them. Why? Why are you on the phone with them? Right? Okay. Clients with too many inquiries. And I'm not talking about like inquiries as in like credit inquiries. They got too many questions. Way too many questions. Anybody ever heard my saying, like, before you pick my brain, you got to pick a payment method? Okay. All right. Stop letting people pick your brain. It's not free there. All right. It took you a long time. Most of y'all just said you spend a whole lot of your time learning how to do funding. Why would you give that away for free? Especially to people who need to be paying you anyway. You are an expert. Now, the next thing is the wrong lender sequencing. So you're hitting all the hard pull lenders. You don't know who has 0% interest. You just applying for stuff. You don't know the terms. You can't explain it to your clients. None of that. And generally, all of that information is right before you apply. if you're doing credit card stacking, you definitely shouldn't be applying for anything that is not 0% interest. There are way too many 0% interest products for you not to apply for anything that's 0% interest. The other thing is no follow-up. So if you have people who you are working with and let's say they fill out an application with you, you fill out a few applications with them. And let's say you even get them money, but you just let them go. And after you let them go, what actually happens? You need to be setting them up so you can remove their inquiries. You need to be setting them up so you can do their next round. You need to be setting them up so that they can start putting money aside in bank accounts so that you can get them other funding, right? All of those things need to happen. But instead, you got somebody a couple cards, which I'm going to tell you now, right? That's not the end game. Them little couple cards, that's not the end game. Getting someone like lines of credit, getting someone loans, getting someone even MCAs, even merchant cash advances, even revenue-based funding, even equipment financing, even small business lending, like even SBA loans, those are the bigger tier. So when you stop because you got somebody a $20,000 Chase card, you just did them a huge disservice. That means you made $2,000 and quit on a light day. All right. No CRM. You still trying to figure out, you still going through your text messages and you trying to figure out who you supposed to be calling back. Because you know they called you the other day. You just can't remember what number they called you from. Well, that doesn't work for somebody like me because I don't answer my phone anyway. So it's like, I don't know who called me and who didn't. So there needs to be a CRM so that you can stay organized, even if you're starting with a Google Sheet. I implore you, don't be collecting clients without collecting them and placing them somewhere. And the last thing is the most important of them all to me is you don't have a referral network. If you're looking for your clients, and we teach this in the group, like if you're looking for clients, why would you look for one client? Why not look for the people who already have your clients? I'm going to use for an example, and I'm going to go ahead and give you my sauce. Like, even for credit repair, we don't market that we do credit repair. We have referral partners such as agents and brokers for real estate that send us their clients for credit repair. So we don't market to one client. We market to an agency that already has our clients. Does anybody see the difference there? If you're offering funding for business funding, we don't offer funding to just anybody. We offer funding to real estate investors. So because we offer funding to real estate investors, this means that our favorite clients and our favorite referral partners are mortgage loan officers, real estate agents, real estate brokers, tax associates, CPAs, right? Those are the people who already have my client. So those are the people I need to talk to, not me going to find one person that needs access to capital. I'm hustling backwards, right? And I'm going to tell you before we end the easiest way to get those type of clients. So the bottom line is most brokers don't fail because funding is hard, but because they never built a business around funding. You just out here doing funding. Somebody asks you what you do. Oh, I do funding. What is that? Right? Treat you like a business, and your business is going to treat you like a business, and your business is going to pay you like a business. Okay? All right. Now, so here's a business opportunity. At entry level, you do 3 deals a month. $3,000 average commissions. That's $9,000 a month. You're growing. You say, I'm going to do 5 deals a month at $3,000 each. That's $15,000 a month. For an established business, you're doing good because you're doing 10 deals a month at an average of $3,500 for commission because, you know, we can charge a little more now. That's $35,000. At 6 figures, it's only 25 deals a month. That's an average of $4,000 for a client. That's $100K a month, right? So this is why funding is scalable. You don't have inventory. It's 100% remote, which means you can do it from anywhere. Secret: I'm usually traveling. I've never met my team members other than my immediate right-hand man, Isaiah. Like, you don't need a license. Every business type needs capital. It's literally one of those things that's not going out of style. And you're going to have clients recurring, and those recurring clients are going to send you revenue. So if you close just 5 deals this month, how would that change your life? Like, think about that number for a second. So 5 deals is $15,000, right? So if you have 5 clients this month, 5 people paying you $3,000, this just means at 10%, you got them $30,000, right? How would that change your life? How, like, would that rock out? Like, would you be okay? Wouldn't be okay? Not at 15? Not at 15,000 a month? Where you live at with $15,000 a month? Ain't nothing to live on. Oh, okay. I'm like, woo.
Miami.
I thought you was just saying one time. I was gonna say, no, that'll be gone by tomorrow.
Come on now. Come on now. So, but yeah, like, I showed you these numbers to show you, like, when it compounds, it's easy, right? And I don't ever want you to trip out of your mind that it's not attainable. Just because it's easy doesn't mean that it's not a lot of work, but it's easy in the sense of what the processes look like. Okay. So here's a 6-figure framing funding framework. All right. Leads. And with your leads, you're going to build these from the pipelines. These are from your realtors, your brokers, your CPAs. Qualification: what does their credit profile look like? How long they've been in business? How much revenue do they have? Preparation: what documents do they have? Sequences: the right lender in the right order every single time. The applications: clean submissions with consistent info. Because here's the thing. A lot of these banks are connected. So if you're putting on one application that someone made $250,000, and then you drop in another application and they made $350,000, there is a discrepancy. Okay. Number 6, approvals. Like, once you manage those offers, then you're going to stack those strategically. Because once you have your clients' approvals and you get them fulfillments, like, you're not just stopping at giving them the card. That's not their ball out money. You get somebody $50,000 in credit cards. That's not their ball out money. That's the money that they're using to reinvest into bank accounts. They're liquidating that money and they're putting that money into bank accounts so that then these bank accounts see that they're building relationships. They're putting money into these accounts. So you can take the same $10,000 and say, and I know for a fact this works with Chase, $10,000. And you liquidate that $10,000 and you're putting $10,000 into that account, a business account, a business checking account. You remove it, you put it back, remove it, put it back, remove it, put it back, remove it, put it back, leave it there. Let's say I do that 5 times. How much does it show that I put into that bank account? $50,000. I deposited $50,000 into my account. It's even more sweet if the $10,000 is still there in the end. Okay? Because they're going to ask you, how much revenue did you have? Well, I had $50,000 going to the account. But if I'm running a business, it's probably not going to stay $50,000. I'm running a business here. And they understand that. Right? So when you have those type of numbers, but imagine doing that with, say, $50,000 in credit cards. This is where you're able to show that you have 6 figures in revenue per month. Because then where, like, the little secret sauce is, you start paying things with, like, your payroll. You start running your payroll through your business checking account, through that Amex, so you can get those rewards, so you can travel for free, so you can have free stuff. Then, I'm talking too much. I'm giving away too much stuff. Okay.
Nah, keep cooking.
Okay, okay. Because that's how it works, right? Don't ever think that I'm not saying that people not out here making the money right off the bat. But if we got a 4-month-old business, chances are that 4-month-old business doesn't have a fair chance at funding, at real funding, unless we start being creative with these numbers. Unless you say, oh, okay, well, if I've got 5 cards at $20,000 each, that's $100,000. I shouldn't be out spending $100,000. You should be liquidating that and putting that in bank accounts so you can build relationships with banks, so that then when you go to someone, when you're going to XYZ Bank, XYZ Community Bank, XYZ Community Bank sees you've been putting money in your account for the past 3-4 months. We cooking? We good? Okay, perfect. So when you're getting your clients access to capital, that doesn't mean they're going and running off on the plug. That doesn't mean they need to be traveling wherever you traveling. Okay. Funny story. Like, we got a client, this was last year. We got a client a little over $100,000 in credit cards. Well, I went to Miami, and guess what? I happened to see this dude. I said, hey, you look like so-and-so. He was like, yeah, Mo, good to see you. Mo, what are you doing here? Right? I know I just got you the $100,000. I know what I told you to do with it. And Miami wasn't in the cards, bro. I needed a vacation. No, you didn't. Okay? No, you didn't. You needed to be seeding your accounts. All right? Now, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Lead generation. Everybody should screenshot this. Realtors, mortgage brokers, CPAs, tax pros, business coaches, Facebook groups, LinkedIn, YouTube, school communities, referral partners. All of those is how we generate leads. All of those.
Hey, Mo.
Yo.
Quick question.
Mhm.
So how often should you do that?
How often does she
Taking
do
the
that?
money out, putting it back in, taking it out, what?
Weekly?
Every month, something like that? What?
Weekly?
Weekly?
It's a full-time job, man. Weekly.
Okay.
And when you're
Okay.
setting that up for your clients, like as a concierge service, if you want to charge your clients a little bit more, set them up appointments at the bank. Set it up where they can liquidate their cards with you. If your merchant accounts are seasoned enough, like if you have QuickBooks and you've ran enough $5,000, $10,000 invoices in there, help your clients out, right? Like, let them cash out with you, charge them a percentage on top, send it back so they can go ahead and deposit it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good deal. So like these now, tier 1 is the highest volume and the fastest way to get leads. Tier 2, medium volume, but it's scalable. Tier 3, long-term, and it's evergreen. It's always going to be there. Okay. All of these we've taken advantage of, and all of them, we use them for different reasons. So right now, like when you get a chance, write down a name, like a realtor, a CPA, or a mortgage broker in your circle right now, and that person is your first referral partner. Now, here's how you treat your referral partners. If Davidson, I'm going to use you because you're right here on the front of my screen. If me and Davidson doing the same business, right? You send a client to me, and then you send a client to Davidson. Davidson said, Mo, or Davidson said, Miss Avis, when you send me a client, I'm going to pay you $250, right? But Mo said, Miss Avis, when you send me a client and that client pays me $5,000, I'm going to send you $2,000. Miss Avis, who are you sending that client to?
You.
Exactly. Pay your referrals. Pay your folks who send you leads, because what's the most important? What's the most important and the most expensive part of the business?
Marketing.
There you go. There you go. For example, we charge $2,500 for credit repair. You know why I charge $2,500 for credit repair? So that when someone sends me a lead, I can pay them $500. When someone sends me a paid credit repair lead, I send them $500. You know why? Because that's a client I didn't have to pay for to get. All right. So build up that network. Don't be afraid to pay people. Now, here's your referral machine. And I keep talking about referrals because I just really believe in getting other people to do the work for you. Get other people to bring you clients. Like, stop trying to find clients on your own. Get other people who already have your client, get them to bring you clients. So identify the right partner. We already talked about who the right partner is. Lead with value first. Give them a little education about what you do. Make the ask clear. Tell them exactly who to refer to you and what you do for them. The more specific you are, the more winning leads they can send you. Create an agreement, right? A simple referral fee or a co-branding arrangement. What we do is we create co-brand websites for our referrals. So it looks like we're an extension of them, right? And we can do all of that in Go High Level. So, and everybody, like, shameless plug, with our inner circle in the school group, we set up your Go High Level for you. So, and that's a free service to you. And it's because we understand how important it is to be able to market and make sure that your referral partners have websites as well, not only you. Okay. And just so you know, I made this this presentation with Go High Level. So, like, nobody ever thought Go High Level would do anything like this, but it's pretty dope. You create that agreement, you follow up on every single referral you get, and then you scale the model. You rinse and repeat. That's it. Okay. So who already has a relationship with a realtor, a mortgage broker, CPA? Who already has a relationship with someone? Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
I do.
Now, how many of them know what you do? One. Okay. Okay. How many people know that you want to offer funding for clients? How many people actually know what you do? 5 people know what you do. Okay. Okay. You know how many, like, for each lead that we get to close a client, it takes us 5 leads to close 1 client. For different reasons. It could be credit. It could be we can't get them on the phone. It could be they don't know how to spell, whatever, you know, big toe hurt, whatever it is, right? But for different reasons, it takes us, we get 5 prospects, we're going to close 1 client. So if only 5 people know what you do, what are the chances of you getting 5 leads to close 1 client? There we go. Not enough people know you. So the whole idea is, you know what? I'm going to scrap the rest of this for the most part. The whole, like, because I feel like you all have the funding knowledge that you need, but the real thing is how to get leads. Is that where we at? Okay. Okay. That's where we at. All right. Good deal. Good deal. Now, I moved to Charlotte 2 years ago. Okay. January 2024. Not only did I quit my job, I moved to a brand new city, right? Country girl, brand new city. Don't know nobody other than my partner at that time. Right. So it's like free city. Okay. I came in, I attended events. I went to network. I got me some business cards, and don't use them corny digital business cards because people don't know how to use their phone. Get you some $20 business cards. Like, people don't know how to use their phone. You ever tried to get somebody to scan your digital business card? It's the most longest process ever, and that joint don't never save. Get you some business cards, and everywhere you go, you should have them in your pocket. And you know what happens when you get business cards? And you give them to people, they be giving you their business card back. And when you get their business card back, you know what you do? You call them the next day. Hey, Gregory, we met yesterday, and I want to know if you have any clients I can find. Gregory, we met yesterday. I want to know how I can help your clients. Gregory, we met yesterday. Like, let me take you out for coffee and let's come up with a strategic plan about how to get your clients funding so that you can charge them more. You build relationships, okay? Yes, this will be saved, Gerald. All right, so you build those relationships, and then you become the person who walks in. So now when I go to places and I walk in, everybody's like, Mo, and it's the best feeling ever. You know why they know me, though? It's very selfish of them. They know me because I'm the person with the money. They know me because I'm the person, like, if they want to get a real estate deal done, they know they can come to me. If they need business funding, they know they can come to me. If they need their credit repaired, they know they can come to me. So the most popular person in the room by default is the person who can solve the most problems. And I solve problems that everybody has or have had at some point: money and credit. So once you become that person, I call it the local celebrity impact, where it's you become like you've went out so much. And don't get me wrong, like I post on social media, but social media serves as only validation at this point, because people have to watch videos for hours and hours and hours to build trust. But if they see my big square head every time they turn around and go out somewhere, who they gonna trust? They're gonna trust me, right? Easy money. Become the local celebrity. All right. Now, let's keep going with this. So, client qualifications. There's a module in Steve's group that has a client qualification. So their credit score, the inquiries, utilization, time of business, revenue, the industry that they're in, their existing bank relationships. Look, banks don't care about address. Banks don't care about phone number. Banks don't care about none of that. Okay. What they care about is what they care. Hold on one second. Let's see. Let's mute. Okay. What they care about is that profile right? Is that credit profile right? Nobody cares about a phone number, right? Nobody cares about that. Before, I only switched my business address from my home address for security purposes. So nobody cares. People understand that folks have home-based businesses. It's okay. But don't be out here spending all that money and then you still don't have the actual revenue to support your virtual office that look like the post office, or, you know, the phone number that you never call or you never answer. All that weird stuff. Don't do it. All right. Get you some professional stuff and keep it going. They care about your profile. They're not lending to your phone number. Now, when you get up to higher tier funding and you have the revenue to support those products, that's a difference. But when you're trying to get your clients funding, don't have them sign up for all this kind of crazy stuff just to get them no funding. Don't do it. They're going to resent you for giving them bills. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's talk about building the correct sequence. Okay. Because when everybody online, they love talking about this card stacking. Don't get me wrong. Card stacking is great, but card stacking is elementary when you're talking about major funding, right? Yes, you can get the bag on stacking. However, it is not the end all be all. It is not how we scaled solely on card stacking, right? You're going to want to use relationship lenders like your local credit unions, community banks. You're going to want to use regional banks. You're going to want to use business credit cards like the Amex, the Chase, the Capital One, okay, here's the thing about Capital One. Capital One is a great entry-level card, but I've been with Capital One for years, and them jokers still be trying to hesitate on my increase. So, you know, they be trying to play with you, but it's a great entry card for rewards, okay? National banks like the Bank of America, the Wells Fargo, the PNC, those are the banks that you go to for equipment financing. Those are the banks that you go to when you need a car loan, right? Those are the stacks, the lines of credit. So you're learning how to use Bluevine, Cabbage, Funbox, On Deck, all of those. But those only come with the correct profile. And you have to know when to apply for them. So you're only applying for like lines of credit if you already have revenue flowing. You're only applying for like SBA and Funbox and On Deck when you have bank statements to show. Because nobody's trying to lend you a couple $100,000 and you just came in business last week and that's it. No revenue. Okay. So just also keep in mind, like, how are these inquiries structured? After every round of funding that you're getting your clients access to, you should be taking off their inquiries. That's a service. You can charge for that. You should charge for that. You can charge a premium. You should charge a premium. And if you've ever attended my classes before, you already know I'm going to tell you, whatever you're charging, charge more. Why? You're worth it. Provide a premium service. Okay. Now, here's a case study. Client profile, their industry, they're a service-based LLC. They've been in business for 14 months. Credit score 702. Inquiries 4 over the last 6 months. Utilization 28%. Monthly revenue 12,400. Their funding timeline. So you have an initial assessment. And this is usually how it goes because, yes, you can get funding really quick. But you know what holds up funding? The client. Okay? The client holds up funding. So from week 1 to week 4, you should be able to complete 2 to 3 rounds of funding. Does that make sense? From week 1 to week 4, you should be able to complete 2 to 3 rounds of funding. Your first round of funding is going to be card stacking. Your second round of funding is going to be lines of credit and loans. Your third round of funding is going to be more lines of credit and loans. Your fourth round of funding is where your client has been in business for quite a few months now, a little over a year at this point, and they're eligible for some sort of higher lending like SBA, beginner tier SBA. Okay, so like don't ever get it tripped up like you can't do this at a large scale because this one client off of this 6 weeks, $135,000 in capital, and the commission is $6,750 plus 5% of the funding amount. Okay. Now, this includes a MCA. What is an MCA? A merchant cash advance. Let's say someone doesn't have great credit. Let's say they do have a lot of money that they're making in their bank, in their business. So say they're making around $40,000 a month in their business, but their credit is trash. Their client is still eligible for funding. It's called revenue-based funding or merchant cash advance. What that means is that their bank statements and their transactions will provide the leverage for what they're going to be getting in a loan. And that loan is generally equal or almost equal to what they make in a month. So someone who makes $40,000 a month over the past 4 months and still has trash credit and doesn't have, anything too crazy going on their credit, then they're still going to be able to get that $40,000. Okay. So bad credit doesn't mean you don't qualify for anything. Bad credit just means your interest rate is probably going to be a little bit higher and your money is going to be a little more expensive. But expensive is relative because if I need $40,000 to push my business forward and I know I'm going to be able to flip it real quick, then I'm going to go ahead and do what I got to do. But also, if your client has bad credit, you're doing them a disservice by not also offering them credit repair. Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. So we went over that. All right. So the follow-up money machine. You get an application submitted, confirmation, make sure you put it in your CRM. Then day 3, you're going to follow up with them, check the status, verify the receipt, ask if anything is needed. Day 7, you're going to have another follow-up, ask for a relevant success story or how they felt about the process. Day 14, requalification check. Has anything changed? Do you have any new income? Did you go and deposit the money that I told you to deposit into the banks? Day 30, you're nurturing them. You're sending them educational content. You've got them probably in some sort of educational group that you have that you're telling about their niche. This is so your name stays at top of mind, right? And day 60 plus, you're trying to re-engage them. New products, new lenders, new opportunities. Like, hey, you ready again? Your client should not be your client one time. This is why it's so important to do the funding correctly because you want to make sure that they're able to be your recurring client. Right? We don't want clients just one time. What did I say earlier? We're not doing just one client to one client. It takes too long to get rich. And I know people be talking about, they don't want to get rich quick. They don't want to do the get rich quick thing. But if you're on this call and you want to get rich slow, you can get off. Come on now. It's easy to run it up. You see these numbers, right? So, but here's how I scale to 6 figures per month. Now, shout out to the most important part of this is right here, my team. I am not the person that does the funding. I am not the person that fixes the systems. I am not the person that sets up the automations, right? Yes. And I'm glad that Isaiah threw up the shout out, because Isaiah is a leading member of our team, right? The marketing. I'm responsible for marketing, referrals, and the community. That's my job, right? So it's like when you have a team, you're going to be able to get so much more accomplished because you're not going to be the one wearing all the hats. So even in this group, let's say that someone is good at speaking on the phone and someone is good at sales. Maybe someone handles client intake and maybe someone is responsible for marketing. You do not have to do it all by yourself. I implore you not to do it all by yourself. Because if you're trying to run an entire funding company all by yourself, it's going to get tiring. And you're going to be too tired of spending money. Ask me how I know. Okay. I saw Davidson had his hand up. Oh, okay. I got it.
That was my mistake.
All good. All good. So now let me ask you a question. Like, who has one of these pillars like in their business right now? Does anybody have anyone helping them? And it can be like your kid, your little cousin, whatever. Get some help. Figure out alongside of why you're learning, bring someone in so that they can help you like with the parts that you're weak at. My weakest part is organization. I currently have 20 tabs open right now. Right? So the first person I hired was an executive assistant, someone to manage Mo. Okay. So get you some help. That's the first part. Now, if you're following this trajectory, which everyone should have screenshotted this, right? If you're following this month 1 through 3, you can expect to make between 5 and 15,000. Month 4 through 6, you should be at 20 to 40,000. Month 7 to 9, you should be at 50 to 75,000. And month 10 to 12, you should be already at 100K plus. Okay. All right. Now, what are your highest income activities? You know why this one's at the top? Building referral partners is your highest activity that you can do. Going out, shaking hands, kissing babies, and then making the content, and then following up, and then reviewing applications, and then managing lender relationships, and then delegation. Right? But the first thing you should be doing is building referral partners. The first thing you should be doing is going outside and getting famous. Everybody needs to know your name. Everybody needs to know what you do. Because if you're sitting in the house, right, or if you're not online, or if you're not in groups, right? So let's say you can't leave the house. That's cool. Get online. You should be hosting a webinar every single week to get clients. I don't even care if nobody shows up to your webinar. Eventbrite is free. And you don't need a webinar just to get clients. You need a webinar so that you can get comfortable talking about your product. You need to get comfortable talking about funding to people. Because if not, then once someone gives you a chance and they say, hey, Victor, how you doing? What it is that you do? And Victor says, it sounds like a bunch of nothing. You know why? Because you haven't practiced it. So practice it. Get on camera. Start doing your pitch, right? Make you a webinar. Do you one of these things, right? Present to nobody. Present to one person. Present to 10 people. Just practice your pitch so you can hurry up and get famous, because the more people that know you, the more money you're going to be able to make. Even bad products make money if enough people know about them. So let's say, all right, so I love haircuts, right? So let's say Davidson got a pretty nice haircut right here, right? Davidson got a pretty nice haircut. So Davidson saw this Instagram barber, and this Instagram barber, he flexed and he do all the little tricks, and they got the camera, they got a cameraman, and they do the little, they got the nice cape and all that stuff. He goes to that barber pushes him back, right? I done been there, Davidson. I know you've been there. We all, yeah. If you got a haircut, you've been pushed back before. Okay. All right. Now, when that Instagram barber is still going to be famous and still gonna make money. You know why? Because people know who he is. But my favorite barber was a guy that nobody knew about named Mr. Leroy. Mr. Leroy was like 80 years old and lined me up like this. Right? So it doesn't matter how it doesn't matter how good that service is to a certain extent. But in order for somebody to even give you a shot, they've got to know you exist. Okay. All right. Good deal. So here are the biggest lessons that I've learned over the past couple years. And I'm going to run through these. Speed matters. Do it now. Do it fast. Do it quick. Hurry up and do it. Do it scared. Trust matters. Relationships matters. Consistency wins. Volume solves problems. If I got a whole bunch of leads, I'm not pressed. But when you only have one lead, people know it because you act like it. Because if I don't close this lead, I don't know what's going to happen. But if you got a whole bunch of leads, you treat them a little bit differently and you can relax because believe it or not, indifference sells. When I'm doing a pitch for someone to purchase something of mine, I really tell them, like, I don't really care if you buy it or not. It's just fine. It's fine. It would be great if you did. I'll be glad to have you in the community. But I mean, if you want to come hang out with me, great. If not, okay, well, keep doing what you're doing. It's cool. Indifferent sales. Don't let nobody think you be sweating them. Why? Especially about some money? No. Consistent? Yes. Sweating folks? No. And you only get to sweating folks when you ain't got no more leads. Okay? Know your lenders. Over the course of your business, you're going to learn what banks like and what banks don't like. You're going to learn what traffic works and what traffic doesn't work, right? Another big one is your brand is your filter. Build a brand. Make sure people know who you are. Get famous. Stop chasing bad deals. If you know somebody got bad credit, get them off your phone. Document everything. Make sure you're taking notes so you know exactly what not to do next time. That's more important than what to do. But most importantly, keep investing in yourself. Keep pouring into you. Don't ever be afraid to do that. We've spent over 6 figures in education over here. Like, that's a lot. It's a lot of education. That's a lot. So after Steve, there was education after that. Before Steve, there was education before that. Next week is going to be more education, right? Consistently learning. Always a student of the game. Always invest in you. All right. Now, the fortune of the future of the funding industry. It used to be where you could put in a couple applications and, you get you a little 25 piece at Chase and then you go to Bank of America and you get a little 25 piece over at Bank of America and you can still do that, right? But the future of the funding industry is someone who knows something other than card stacking. Embedded finance. Embedded finance is where you go and help other people with their business. You go and say, hey, coach, consultant, let me give you my affiliate link. And then you tell your clients to start doing funding with me. And I'm going to pay you. That's embedded. AI underwriting. We have a software that does our AI underwriting for us. This cuts out a whole lot of time because then I don't have to look at each credit profile, right? Now, you're going to glance over it, but the AI software already knows what to look for. Funding as a service. Funding is an entire service, but make sure it's complete. Make sure you have the credit repair with it. Make sure you have the inquiry removal with it. And if you're not going to be the one to do it, make sure you partner with someone who is. Private money. Anybody know what private money is?
Yes.
Okay. Good deal. Avis, are you an investor?
Yes, I am.
Love
Actually,
it.
Suzette, someone was using my computer earlier.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But yes, I'm an investor.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Yeah, private money. Private money is where it's at if you're trying to create your real estate portfolio. You want to scale really, really fast and use somebody else's money to do it and not have to create a lot of documentation. Private money, business lending, real estate capital, all of those. This is the future of where funding is, not just standing somewhere and getting credit cards. Okay, so your 90-day action plan. Go ahead and screenshot this. Weeks 1 to 2, start building the foundation. So this means pull your own personal and business credit reports. Open a business bank account. Set up a CRM, even if it's a free one, even if you're using Google Sheets. Set up some type of way to manage your clients. Identify 5 referral partners in your network. Join 3 groups where business owners need funding. Week 3 through 4, get your first contacts in. Reach out to 5 referral partners with value first messages. Hey, business owner, do you have a way to get your clients access to capital? How much money are you losing when you're telling your clients to finance with Klarna or finance with Apple Pay? Because the business loses money like that. You should be completing your first application submission for your clients. Document your process as you go. Document your process as you go. You're going to look at it years later and say, "Sheesh, I came a long ways." Post your first piece of content about funding. Month 2, aim for 3 to 5 applications submitted a week. Formalize at least 2 referral partner agreements. Set up automated follow-ups in your CRM. If you haven't closed your first deal, you should already be closing your first deal and you should be celebrating. Then you should analyze what worked and adjust it. Because also you should know at that point what didn't work. By month 3, you have a full-blown referral partner network of over 5 people. Your target deals are 5 to 8 per month. You're creating content on a regular. Your CRM is pushing out your content for you so you don't have to worry about it. You've hired a VA for screening and document collection and managing your calendar and your appointments. And you've set your 6-month income target and reverse engineered it. That should be in month 3. So anyone who executes this plan for 90 days consistently will have the foundation of a sustainable, scalable funding business. And I know because this is the exact trajectory that I was on. Now, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier that the national banks are better for car loans. Would that be for business or personal?
Business.
Business. Okay.
Yeah, business. And the reason why I say the national banks are better for car loans is because there are very few dealers who operate with car loans, right? So national banks generally have partnerships with some of the dealers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And also, would you recommend having a talk with them about establishing a fleet of vehicles?
Yes, especially Bank of America.
Bank of America. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And find your local credit union. Your local credit union will finance, if they have a business division, usually they'll finance 3 to 5 vehicles for you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mhm. Absolutely. Next. Okay. Perfect. All right. Good deal. Okay. Zane.
My question is, are credit repair ads worth running at all? Is that like worth running, or do you think running funding ads are worth it, or just fully organic?
So I love funding ads. The reason why I love funding ads is because there's a down sale. It's not to say that credit repair ads don't work, because that's not the case at
Okay.
all. But there's not a down sale from credit repair. So the down sale from funding is credit repair or a different type of funding. But if there's only if that's credit repair and they don't qualify or they don't want to pay your price, then that's a lost lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And got it. Thank you, Mo. And then I have one more. If that's okay. Is that
Sure.
cool?
Go for it.
And then for the card stacking or
Mhm.
someone that owns a business,
Mhm.
the line of credit, do we go through you for that? Or do we sign up with or Funbox or Cabbage or one of those? Like, what would you recommend is the best way to go about that?
As long as you have bank statements, any of those are going to work. As long as you have bank statements,
Like
any of those are going to work. So
12 months?
for
Like 12 months of bank statements, or
no, you only
is
need
it like
like
a
4 or
certain
5 months of bank statements.
okay.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months of bank statements, as long as those bank statements are consistent. Now, also, when you're submitting bank statements, make sure that you understand that if it's a month where, let's say you're submitting 3 bank statements, if it's a month where you made 20K and then you made 5K and then you made 20K again and then you made 5K, they're probably going to only give you 10K.
Mhm.
Okay. Because your revenue is not consistent. So it's above 5 and it's
But
less than 20.
mhm. Okay, cool. And then for the line of credit, they go based off, what's that typically based off, like the line of credit?
For the line of credit, you're going to have similar guidelines to that as well. So make sure that income is
Okay.
consistent. If not, you can expect the average for them to average
All right,
out
cool. Thank you so much, Mo.
revenue for there. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But,
So, all right. With respect of time, I want to go ahead and extend you an offer to jump into the cash flow department. So the cash flow department is where we hold 2 classes here per week. We talk about things similar to this, and we actually do some pretty cool stuff in here, including we teach you how to use AI to run your funding business. For example, let me show you a funding analysis real quick. So let's see, funding reports. Boom, let me show you this. And let me download it. And I'm going to show you a quick funding report that we can do for our clients. Boom. All right, so check this out. So let's say you have a client and they're ready to get funding, and you can print out one of these for them. So executive summary, credit profile analysis, funding summary, projections, and it tells you what they're likely to be qualified for. And then it gives you like their credit profile analysis, like their age, because that's important, how many active accounts they have, utilization, on-time payments, the score. And then it tells you who to apply for, like your first round, or this is phase 3. And TransUnion. So it tells you like he's eligible for a term loan. Merrick Bank, Synchrony Bank, Regions Bank, then some backup lenders in case sales don't work. Funding summary. But imagine having this for each client that you service. Be a whole lot easier to make money, right? It'd be a whole lot easier. All right. So I teach you exactly how to do this in the first 7 days of you joining the cash flow department. So in the first 7 days of the cash flow department, go ahead and jump in there. We're actually going to update the price. I think it is June 16th. So get in there while it's free. And I'm telling you that we're going to raise the price of the cash flow department because school is now running ads on behalf of school groups, and they're pushing the groups that are paid. So where it's free access now, I'm going to change to paid access so the school can send me traffic. Okay. So I'm going to take advantage of that, right? So jump in here. It's the same information. If you want to join Inner Circle is $127 per month. It comes with a Go High Level account that we manage for you and our team helps you with. So I hope to see everyone inside. This has been great. Y'all have been dope. Do me one more solid favor. Grab your phone. And if you have your phone in your hand, I want you to go to Instagram and I want you to follow me at Mo the Closer. And I'm actually going to put this inside of the chat here. Boom. There we go. All right. So that is my Instagram profile. I hope to see everyone inside of the group. I look forward to all these funding approvals I'm about to see. And when you get an approval or you need help, shout it out, right? Shout it out. And especially if you're needing help with an approval, make sure you drop it in the group. We're excited to help. There are almost 800 other people inside of this group, and they usually answer the questions before I even get to them. So very helpful community. So look forward to helping everybody out. And with that, y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Later.
Have a good night, Mo.